You've been brainwashed to work, and some of us have become workaholics. Some of us have become lazy. Many of us have negative connotations to the word work in itself, or even hard work. And oftentimes the spiritual ones don't like discipline, don't like to control themselves, don't like to have deadlines, don't like pressure. Work is not required in order to get results. The word work has a lot of power behind it, and it's a part of a pendulum. Work implies that you have to do something. And when we say you have to do something, I'm referring to your ego. Your ego has to work. You have to get your body to do stuff in order to get results. And oftentimes we are going against our beliefs, our thoughts, our emotions, and pushing ourselves to do things that go against our truth. Our truth just knows. And when we are in our truth, we don't need to work. People ask me, Gavin, if you're not taking action right now, how are you making this video? Well, action's taking me. I'm not taking action. Action is a universal law, the law of action. If we look at Mother Nature, it's in the law of action. It's just doing stuff. In fact, nothing's ever still. If we look at our skin, our bodies under a high-powered microscope, we are moving on a vibratory particle, electrons, atoms, always moving consistently. And this action force is something that we can tap into once we are able to transcend the ego, transcend the mind. From a very early age, you were taught that you need to go to kindergarten, nursery, school, and the reason you're doing this is to get educated. Education is not knowledge, it's not true intelligence. Education, for the most part, is pseudo-knowledge or pseudo-intelligence. And what I mean by that, it's intelligence that takes us away from ourselves, right? It takes us away from the truth. So we've been programmed, we've been brainwashed to believe that we have to work since a very young age. The reason we're getting an education is so that we can get a job and we can survive, or maybe sometimes thrive. We can make money to live and pay the bills and live a good life. And so now we have to earn our way into the life that we want. We have to earn it. We have to get the education. But the thing is, the system is set up in a certain way for where it doesn't exactly work for everybody. So a lot of us working our jobs, and it's like, I have to go to work. It's not I want to. It's like, I have to. For most people, a majority of the population, they're doing things that they don't like doing things that they don't love doing. It's not something that you want to do. It's something that you need to do and have to do. And so we need to do those things in order to create security, to pay our bills, and again, to survive. So work, the way that it's been brainwashed upon us, is for survival. Very low vibrational frequency, as you can imagine. And if you're resonating on that frequency, you're in a frequency of lack. And so we need to undo, antivirus, or even brainwash yourself to the understanding that you don't need to work and you don't need to take action. Action needs to take you. Action already exists. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this. Right now, you're probably going to a job or career and you are working towards it. Or maybe you're trying to build a business and you're trying to make it happen. You're trying to make it work. And you may have a sense or feeling behind it that, like, I need to have some discipline. I need to control myself. I need to go to work. Got responsibilities. I have to pay for the bills. I've got to take care of the kids. I've got to buy food. I've got to save up for the holiday. I want to save up for a course or investment or whatever it is. I want to make progress in my life. And all of this requires work. This is what the mind is saying, right? This is what the ego is saying. And these are all the narratives and stories behind life. A majority of our life is focused around the area of work and money. And so you can imagine all the energy and attention and life force that is taking from us, not allowing us to fully realize the truth. Most of us don't have time for stillness. Most of us don't have time to go in and clear the mind and tap into true intelligence, not pseudo intelligence, not tap into real action and not working. And so we might have this concept behind money that it's hard to make money. It's hard to make a lot of money, and money takes effort. I remember when I was first learning about the law of attraction, I was really starting to understand these concepts about business and how to create success. I wasn't actually there yet, but I was starting to shift into this frequency, shift into this energy of being more abundant. And one day I was like, I had this big realization, and I rushed downstairs and I told my mom, hey, you don't have to work in order to make money. You don't have to work hard in order to make a lot of money. And then obviously, like, I was trying to get like some validation, some proof or whatever it is. And she immediately said the opposite. And God bless my mom. I love you. The response that she had, she said, no, of course you have to work. You have to work hard in order to get the results that you want. And I said, no, you don't. You don't have to work hard. I was trying to explain to her what I'm about to explain to you now. And even then, I got it, but I didn't quite get it for it not to then affect me and think that I needed to work hard. Lo and behold, what did I do? I forgot about this concept of you don't need to work hard. I forgot about the law of least effort. I forgot about living in your highest timeline. I forgot about being free and understanding that I'm sovereign, understanding that I'm not my mind and not my emotions. And I got back into the trap of the matrix, the illusion, the ego. And I started to work hard again, using my body, using my willpower, using discipline, self-control, force, push. And I got very badly sick, got really badly sick, where I was bedbound. And I had a realization one day. I consumed some reishi mushroom, and it really relaxed my nervous system. And it gave me a break from being overstimulated. My adrenals were burnt out. I got that moment, that little glimpse of the truth, a little sign of the truth. I was laying down. I remember it very clearly, and the way that I was laying down. And I was laying on my side and my eyes were closed, and I was like, had this big awakening, this big realization that I'm free. I accept that I'm not well right now. I accept that I've worked hard and I caused this to happen. I accept that maybe the universe is trying to teach me something. I created this sense of peace inside of me, and my mind became very blank, very non-duality, enlightenment, isness, God. And I wasn't functioning on the same duality. This is hard, this is difficult, I need to work hard anymore. And I found this sense of softness inside, this sense of calm and equanimity. I was the happiest that I felt in a very, very long time. Being depressed, being anxious, I now had found some peace. And so I started to maintain this energy and follow it and listen to it. And action was now taking me. I was experiencing action. Things were just flowing through me, and I was inspired into reality rather than reality being inspired into me. What do I mean by that? That I'm not educating myself, that I need to discipline, deadlines, self-control, all of this stuff, rah, hype. Instead, it was just, I want to, I get to, I love to, I can't wait to do these things. It was naturally coming out. And sometimes, I'd fall back into the trap, but then I would rewind. Hey, hold on a minute. I'm stepping back into the energy of force. And because I was not so well at the time, I would realize it even more, because if I pushed too hard, I could burn out again. And so I took this as a life lesson, and I started to retrain my mind that we don't need to work. We are free. So probably thinking, yeah, but Gavin, I need to pay my bills. Again, what I'm saying here is not about not doing anything. You're doing a lot of things. In fact, I do a lot of things, and it could be perceived that I work a lot or I work too much. Maybe not so much. Maybe I work like 4 or 5 hours a day, but I've created that. When I say created, it's like manifested. I've stepped into that energy of beingness and abundance. And so I'm able to work that much and still make a lot of money, still be completely abundant, still be able to travel, still be able to do the things that I love. I'm not being stupid and airy-fairy about it. I'm being logical and practical. I'm understanding that I live in the 3D reality. I'm understanding that I have bills to pay. I understand that this reality works on the monetary system, but I'm choosing to let go and let God. I'm choosing to let God or the universe flow through me. I'm choosing to not push myself, not hustle too much. I'm choosing to put my health first. I'm choosing to realize that actually life is short. It's not all about working and trying to get to the top. For me, in my mind now, there's no such thing as the top. The top is based on, again, the external reality. It's based on the brainwashing. Are people on the top really on the top? Are they really happy? Are they really fulfilled? Are they worth worse off having the money and the success? Who knows? Some people are, some people are not. It just depends. As long as I'm living in my truth and I'm living with my heart and not only listening to the ego and listening to the mind, then I have created a sense of harmony and freedom inside of myself. Now, there are times where I don't feel like taking action, right? And I don't feel like doing stuff. That's when I can use the ego and say, hey, we need to push ourselves a little bit. Once I get started, now the momentum starts to build and that narrative in my mind starts to go away and it doesn't feel like I'm pushing myself anymore. Now, I would like to say that I've aligned a lot of my life around my personality. I've aligned a lot of my life around my brain type. And so it makes things way easier. Sometimes, not every time, you might have to do a thing here and there that you don't like, especially if you don't have the finances to outsource it, or maybe you don't have the time or whatever it is. And so in the beginning, there's going to be things that you might have to do and you have to push against that. But over time, once you start creating the snowball of abundance, you won't need to do those things anymore because you can now outsource them and provide them to someone else. I was speaking to about 2 or 4, I can't remember how much it was, 4 different clients who had a similar problem. And I told them, once you reach making around $10,000 per month, you can outsource cooking, you can outsource cleaning, and that's going to save you a hell of a lot of time. Just that alone. And you can focus more on what you're passionate about and what's meaningful to you and live your life in more freedom. Just eating and cooking and shopping, all of that takes a lot of time. And so we're constantly on a hamster wheel of working and pushing and all of this stuff. And so with that being said, in the beginning, like I said, there may be some challenges or obstacles that we need to pass by because of our old conditioning and our way of thinking since it wasn't abundant before. And so we are playing catch up with the new frequency of being in a state of abundance, being in a state of action is taking me and allowing that energy to flow through you. As that happens more and more, your external reality will begin to change and you will begin brainwashing yourself into this state of, I don't need to work. Action is taking me. I'm not taking massive action. You see, I can work for hours and 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 hours because for me, it's not defeating. For me, it's not taking energy from me. It's giving me energy. It's giving me, when I go on a live call with my group and stuff like this, I just want to keep going and going and going and going because it's giving me energy. It's giving me aliveness. It's giving me joy. We want to align ourselves with jobs, with careers, with businesses, with decisions that fill us up. We're constantly giving, especially as spiritual people, and we need to learn how to receive the love that we're giving out. And so this system, this matrix is conditioning us to focus on money, on success, on striving, on hustling, on grinding, on manifesting, on spirituality, right? But it's all a lie. Spending 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day on writing your lists and all of this stuff is a part of working. If you're not in the flow of doing those things, if it's not naturally coming through you where you want to do it, you can't help but do it, you're excited to do these things, don't do it. It's not you. It's not who you are. It's not fitting you right now. You have to realize that these things are about the emotional intensity that you're putting behind it. And God, the universe, knows when you don't want to do it and you're forcing yourself to do it. And it's the wrong frequency. So these tools, I don't ever use them unless I feel like doing it. Like it feels natural to me. It's coming from me, not because someone said on YouTube or on the internet or from some course that I need to do this thing. That's what's going to get me results. And so if I do this thing, I'm going to get the results. That is the wrong frequency to come from. You're not doing the thing to get the result. You're doing the thing because it makes you feel good. You're doing the thing because it puts you in a positive vibration. You're doing the thing because you're excited about it. Do you have to be in a positive vibration to manifest your reality? As you've probably seen in my videos, no. We are stepping into the energy of neutrality. We are stepping into the energy of is, and we're not trying to get something by doing these particular techniques or strategies and things like this. And so we must learn that it's okay to give up on certain things, and that the idea is you want to feel free. The system is making you feel trapped, and there's a lot of burden on people, a lot of pressure, and we hardly have any time. And so all of these things are constraints and constricting us and causing internal turmoil and making us feel not free. We have to begin to flip the script a little bit, step into that state of neutrality, which is, if I could label it, freedom, because it's freedom from yourself, it's freedom from conditioning, it's freedom from the ego, freedom from the mind, the narratives, the beliefs, the stories. And we are now in the stream of God, stream of the universe. Only the ego can get in the way of your reality that you desire. As you know, desire is a low vibrational frequency. When you transcend working, when you transcend desiring, when you transcend all of these concepts, you step into a state of samadhi, enlightenment, isness, non-duality, and the thing that you want just is. It's just a choice, and you've collapsed left and right, and you've made it one. You've collapsed. Have I got the thing? Have I not got the thing? And it just is. Like when we look at our mobile phones, if I hold this mobile phone up right now, it doesn't really feel like I have a phone and I don't have a phone, if that makes any sense. It just feels like it's disappeared. When you first get the phone, you might feel like, oh, I have a phone, right? It's like, it's all exciting, and then, right? And then it just disappears into the nothingness. The same as having the car, the new home. After some time, it just becomes normal. It steps into a state of neutrality. You don't even think about it too much. It just is. What if we could feel that way about working? That's what action is. I don't feel like I'm doing things. Things are just happening through me. So I've been able to manifest my dream life. I've been able to travel all over the world. I've been able to help people make 4, 5, all the way up to the 6-figure level, even up to the 7-figure level, help people become millionaires. And it's been an amazing journey for me, understanding these concepts. And we are Neo, we can transcend all of this stuff and realize our real power, not this pseudo ego power, like I got a lot of money and I got a lot of success. No, it's just like I'm in the isness, I'm with God, I'm living my life in that way. And so if you would like to continue this journey with me and learn how to tap more into these frequencies, what I like to call the God frequency, there's going to be a link in the description. All right, I'll speak to you soon. Much love.